A lot of barbers don't grasp onto the concept of marketing. Marketing is key. You can have the best looking car in the world if no one ever sees it. How's that a good looking car?
That's good.
No one, so I look at it like, and I tell a lot of barbers, there's a lot of new barbers. I stress it out. Hey man, invest outside of just cutting hair behind that chair. You can put all that money into stroking your wrist and all this here, but then it might bring it other avenues. Like photography brought me to weddings, making money on the side. So I know not only a barber, photographer as well now. So.
Welcome to another episode of More Than a Barber. Listen, I am your host, AP, and today we have a very special guest that's in the studio today, and I want you guys to tune in. Do me a solid. Subscribe down below. I need you to do me that favor. We're building a community, and you are a part of this. Listen, you already know this is a podcast that helps inspiring barbers, beginner barbers, transform their career with valuable content. We bring you the best guests that can give you the top-notch information on how to transform your career. So today we have a special guest for you. I'm telling you, this is my guy. I've been waiting to get him in the studio, and we finally got him in the studio. Listen, he works for King Midas. They have the hottest barber capes on the market. He's been a barber for 17 plus years, and he is a master marketer. I mean, master marketer and a professional photographer. You might want to check him out. To nearly 10,000 IG accounts, IG followers, his name is Mike, aka Taco the Barber. What's up, my G?
What's up with it, bro?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, fam.
Good. Thank you, man. Thank you.
It's a blessing.
Yes, man. I am excited to have you in the studio today. Man, how you feeling? How you been?
Man, I'm great, man. Life's beautiful, man. It's always a joy when you wake up, man. You get to meet beautiful people, man.
Absolutely.
That's how I look at it.
Well, you got a great bio, man. I was trying to make sure I hooked you up. I was trying to get my Shannon Sharp on.
Nah, you good.
You got a great bio, man. Man, I'm glad we were able to chop it up today, man. We're gonna have a really good conversation. As you know, we're both in the barber industry, and we've been in the barber industry quite some time. I mean, I remember calling you because you would put out a post. Hey man, who want to shoot today? Because you are cold with the camera.
Yes.
I mean, cold with the camera. And I got a Sony because of you. Okay. I got my Sony camera.
Sony gang, stand up.
Yeah, let's Sony go. Gang. Yeah, I got a Sony. I think it was at the time, it was an A6000.
Okay.
I think at the time. And we went downtown, man. And you were giving me the game on this shooting. Nah, change your angle and shoot it this way, change your aperture speed. All like you really walk me through the whole piece, man.
Yeah, that's something I love though, man. That's a little hidden talent that I kind of found that I had that I love, and it helped out marketing wise as far as being a barber. A lot of people don't understand that aspect of the game.
A lot of people they underestimate the marketing side of it.
True.
They underestimate the marketing side. And I kind of want to tap into that. Like, as far as marketing goes from a barber's perspective, like what are some of the things that you have benefited from being, a super cold photographer and a barber? How did you mesh the two, knowing that they obviously work hand in hand?
I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest aspects of having a camera and getting into the photography industry outside of being a photographer. A barber, you get the market. You have quality photos 24/7, and then you got to think about it. They stand the test of time. A photo is always going to be there. So a lot of barbers, you remember taking photos with your phone. How many years ago when you started taking photos?
Years.
You barely could use the photos to this era of barbering because the technology is so advanced. It's hard to keep up with it.
Absolutely.
But a photo is always going to be there.
Wow. They say a picture speaks 1,000 words.
That's it.
I guess the video speaks 1,000,000.
Straight up.
Because you have two. Now, photos are they're important. They're still relative.
Yes.
100%. Yes. But you've mastered the game, Mike. Like, I was looking at your page today and I just was scrolling. I said, man, I wish I would have kept sticking with the photos, because I'm now on the video side. That's kind of like where I'm at. But in terms of just keeping that quality photo, man, you're the master. I've seen it, man. You're the master.
Appreciate that, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you there. You there, man. I've been seeing it. I've watched you.
Thank
like,
you.
Okay.
Thank you, man. Thank
Okay.
you. So how long have you been shooting? I know you've been barbering 16 plus years, but how long have you been in the photography game?
I bought my first camera, which was a Canon. I bought it, I think in 2008 or 6. I think it was 8. I think because I had to drive 2 hours to buy some dumb stuff. I could have bought it cheaper in town, but I thought I was getting a deal and it was the same price technically. So,
yeah.
And ever since then, been rocking with it. Bought my first Sony. That everybody get y'all a Sony, man. I don't get nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with the rest of the brands, but you get a Sony, you the man.
For sure.
But first Sony, I think in 2014.
That's what's up.
First full frame. Full frame. Yeah.
Sony. Okay.
So,
because I know Sony and Canon, it's really like
what iPhone and Android pretty much.
iPhone and Android. I was gonna say Anders and Walls. It's really the person behind the camera, right? But I found from a marketing perspective, Sony, that camera, man,
it is.
It's
the quality.
that camera.
The quality is there. You know, because everybody looking at it. Your phone is digital, so you're looking at an image from digital perspective.
Absolutely, especially the mirrorless side, like you say, full frame. So how has being a master, I call you a master marketer because knowing how to take quality pictures, quality videos, it really sets you aside from the barbers who possibly could have great skills at cutting, but not great skills at marketing. How has that benefited your career, your clientele, that whole piece? How has it benefited you? Because
a lot of barbers don't grasp onto the concept of marketing. Marketing is key. You can have the best looking car in the world if no one ever sees it. How's that a good looking car?
That's good.
No one, so I look at it like, and I tell a lot of barbers, there's a lot of new barbers. I stress it out. Hey man, invest outside of just cutting hair. Behind that chair. You can put all that money into stroking your wrist and all this here, but then they might bring it other avenues. Like photography brought me to weddings, making money on the side. So I know not only a barber, photographer as well now.
So when you say invest in other things, not just the hair, the hair business, the hair industry, you told new barbers to invest in more than just the actual barber industry.
Yeah.
Why is that significant? Why is that important? For young barbers, new barbers to invest in not just in the barber industry?
Because it puts your reach out there. It's not limiting how many people you can reach. And then the quality of your business is based off of you. So, and that's a big aspect of barbering. Barbers are a business. Once you get that license, you don't work for the barbershop. You work for yourself as far as your business. Once you create an LLC, you're actually a business, but in a sense of this world, you could take that barber license anywhere and use it. So that's why I say market yourself, take your photos, invest in that, because Instagram now helps us out. It's free marketing.
Man, free.
It's free.
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. Instagram changed my whole career.
True.
It changed my whole career. So you're right. It's free. It's readily available for you to take advantage of all of the features. True. But from a marketing standpoint, I think a lot of what we're seeing today, because it's a lot going on in the barber.
Yeah,
it's quality. You got to have the quality, and you got to have that level of consistency.
True.
They said. I heard it, and I've been using it ever since. Is the consistency is the only cheat code.
True.
It's the only cheat code. So if you're not consistent, then you won't really get to that particular level. What do you see in today's industry that a lot of barbers are making regarding marketing?
I feel like a lot of barbers are making, when they're marketing, especially with their Instagram page, they're going away from the professional image of a barber. Like you posting stuff won't bring you the professional clientele that you want. Think about it, business people, lawyers, doctors, everybody looks at it like they want the celebrities and all that, but you got to think about it. There's people out there with money that aren't athletes and they are professionals.
Right.
So they want to be in a professional setting. Your photos are going to speak for that. Your photos are going to share. It's going to show them what they want to come to.
Gotcha.
Pretty much.
Do you think that a lot of the new barbers, they don't necessarily care about reaching a certain level of clientele, or in terms of making those mistakes? Or do you think that they're just trying to push out a lot of content so that people can see who they are, or they're trying to compare who they are to the next barber success?
We live in a microwave world.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the new age barbers, they want to jump to the end result. They don't want to do the footwork to get to the end result. So they see the other barbers, like you say, people that's been in the league, been in the game for years. They want to get there. So what they're doing, they're skipping all these steps. So they're not looking at it like the money asset, because the end all be all is to make money, take care of your family, live comfortably and stuff like that. You know, the quality of clientele, they're not looking at it because the route they're taking.
Absolutely. And I like for me, I like what you said about the whole, you gotta take the proper steps. You gotta take the proper steps. And it's so much, it's a lot of guys. One, they're beefing in the industry, right? There's a lot of beef in the barber industry, as we talked about offline. And two, they're literally cutting corners because it almost feels like they feel there's an end goal that they have to be on a certain level.
Right.
And the reality of it is, I feel like if you're going to be on a certain level, it all starts with you anyway.
True.
It all starts with you.
True.
So why do you think there is a massive amount of barbers who are just at each other? The beef and the marketing. Now, my way is better than your way. The younger barbers are hating on the older barbers. The older barbers hating on, like, it's like a conundrum. What do you think that is, bro?
It's just, I think in a way, I think it's more or less, they think that's going to hinder them or build them up. It's like, all right, let me talk about this guy to build me up, that make people come to my page. You know, it's marketing. Believe it or not, you know, Nike, Adidas, they all beef.
They do.
They out McDonald's and Burger King, Wendy's, all of them beef for the longest, you know, but
that's right.
That's how they kind of look at it. Even though it does bring, but it's a negative light towards you. And sometimes people don't know how to step away. Just like, I'm good. Like, I'm not going to be, let me reach out to him and talk. Let's have a conversation like we're doing.
Yeah.
Never looked at each other negative. You know, that man never did nothing to you. They probably never even met, and they on Instagram going crazy.
Beefing, bro. I mean, beefing. And crazy. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
It's sad because these are OGs, especially a lot of times. You know, some of the younger cats, they beef, but it dies down. The OGs, they take it to another level with it.
So so I saw this, and I talked about this a few weeks ago, bro. I saw a OG barber hating on a younger barber. This is real. And he's basically, you know how like when you post, you know, on Instagram, and you can like post somebody else's content, but you could be like an actual like,
oh, you're talking about the photo.
The photo,
on the video.
So like, he's critiquing old boy's haircut. Now, the haircut that he's critiquing, he's a younger barber. And I'm going to be honest.
That's deep.
He's on as a barber not because of his skill set. And I'm not taking anything away from him, but he really on because of the amount of sponsorships he has. And so I personally believe, and I was analyzing, I said, man, the OG barber probably hating on him because he probably got about 300K followers, sponsorships. I'm talking about like, and I know him. I know him. Okay. I'm not gonna, you know, get into where he from, who he is, all that, because that ain't what that is. But I was like, he's critiquing old boy's haircut to the point to where he tagging him, and the comments is on fire. And it's like, it's marketing.
All day.
I mean, it's
all day.
It's marketing at its finest, you know. But what I don't like is it's now infiltrating a different narrative in the barber industry,
right?
To where
everybody's doing it.
Because everybody's doing it. How do we fix that? How do we change that?
I feel like a lot of times it's people get mad about the support, not understanding it's enough money for everybody. Everybody doesn't have to support you. Everybody doesn't have to do stuff your way. People in Philly cut hair way different than people in Dallas. People in Dallas cut hair way different than people in California. You know, it's enough money for everybody. What's the point? You know what I'm saying? Let's speak positive on the next generation, because at the end of the day, the game ain't ours. It's just here temporary for us.
What you mean by that?
I mean, I've been cutting hair for a while. It's somebody gonna be under me cutting hair. Somebody gonna be under him. Somebody up under you. How many barbers you didn't talk that's under you?
Countless.
That's what I'm saying. So
Countless
it's like
barbers.
the game gonna come and go. You know, why not speak positive into that?
That's good. I think the argument becomes positivity don't get likes and shares.
That's it.
Negativity and clapbacks that run it up.
Believe it or not, positive does. Believe it or not,
Do you think it does in our society right now?
People gear their minds towards positive too. But what it is, when you start introducing that negative into your life, that's all you're gonna think about. That's all I can gather is negative energy.
That's good.
So that's all you're gonna want, because that's an adrenaline rush. You know, as far as positives for the positive-minded people out there, positivity is gonna be positive straight across the board. They're not gonna entertain the negative, and a lot of barbers haven't entertained it. A lot of barbers see that and they be like, "Man, I ain't got time for that."
So, Mike, I reached a certain level of followers for the first time in my barbering career.
Right.
Okay. I got to this amount of followers, and now my comments, they coming for me. They coming for me. They clapping. They talking crazy. Some of the barbers, they can't even, their skill set don't match the comments.
Makes sense.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sense.
And so I'm like,
sense.
why are you even wasting your energy talking about something that you not even reached the level? You haven't even reached this level. And I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm confident, right? But I'm saying, like, it almost feels like people are drawn to the clapback and they're drawn to, hating on somebody.
Yeah.
And they have not even reached that level. That's where we at, bro. That's exactly where we at. And I'm talking, that's in any industry, but
True.
Specifically because we're in the barber industry, it has magnified, bro. I've never seen this much hate in my life when it comes to the barber industry. Never seen it before.
It's sad.
It's crazy.
It's sad, but I think, like you say, a lot of the younger barbers and some of the older barbers that didn't get where they were supposed to got, the acknowledgement and the achievements, the goals, the sponsorships and stuff like that, they want to do that. I want to hate on somebody. And some of the younger barbers who feel like I need to be here. I'm better than you, but I've never done none of the stuff you're doing to get where you're at. So that's how they're looking at it.
So are you saying that the younger barbers, they are more privy to getting sponsors? They're more privy to getting a lot of the brand deals? Are you saying that? And that's what the older generation is hating on?
They have it out now. Out. Remember when we first started cutting hair?
We didn't have that.
We went to hair shows. There's 1-2 hair shows a year. We barely saw they had Bonner Brothers.
Yeah.
And we saw a few barbers on stage. Now we go there. Every booth has 5-6 people on stage. Every booth has their own little connection of people and stuff. So I think they think that's the end all be all is to sponsorship, not understanding outside of sponsorship, being a promo barber, outside of working for any brand, anything like that, you still have to make your own money.
That's right.
You still have to.
That's right. So speaking of sponsorships and working for different brand deals, you work for King Midas.
Shout out to King Midas.
Shout
That's my
out
dog,
to King.
man. That's my brand.
Listen,
I love
man,
it.
I was checking out the barber capes and this. I mean, that brand is at almost 200K followers.
Yeah.
I was checking it. I said, yo, man, they're doing some big things in the barber industry.
True.
Tell me a little bit about the brand and how you got an opportunity to, be a part of that King Midas brand.
I'm gonna say King Midas is a brand for the people. We cut hair, man. So we understand what a barber, a beautician, because it's not just for barbers. Okay. It's for nail techs. It's for makeup artists, lashes. We make sure it's for everything, because everything that we push out is for the people,
That's right.
Because we're in the industry. We see what people like. Ladies want shears, pockets for shears.
That's what's up.
So
That's what's up.
The brand, it's a brand that it's just a beautiful brand. I've been rocking King Midas for a while. Anybody that knows me know I'm a positive person as far as, man, talking to people, motivate people to do well and stuff. So when I first initially met Joe, It was years ago, man. He'd been supporting me ever since, been talking to me, been hitting me up, man. We crack jokes on the regular, you know. Me and him go back and forth. Even times when we not talking about barbering or anything like that, we still talk. Check on kids. I know his kids. He know my kids, stuff like that. But me and him had some of the similar views on the barber industry and the beauty industry as far as marketing stuff, you know. And it's a great brand. The quality is there. Quality, it speaks for itself, you know.
So it's barber capes, not just for barbers, but it's also for beauticians. So it's the whole line.
It's a whole line. It's a line. And that's what we gear it for, you know, because think about it. Most of the stuff, you know, what do we have? We go get that everyday black cape we've been getting to. Shout out to the what was the black cape? Go to Salads and get the black cape back in the day. Get about 2 or 3 of them. Neck be dirty, and a lot of bar man don't look at it, and beauticians don't look at it. Most show clients need to have their own cape. Every time a client's stitching your chair, switch out the cape.
You good? Yeah.
So you're not spreading any diseases. Nothing's nasty. You don't have neck. No one's sweating on the cape, and you put it on. Put your neck strip on and put you another cape on them. You know, have 2 or 3 capes. You know, for your clients. You know, at least.
Yeah, I was looking at it and I said these are creative. They are innovative.
True.
And I definitely want to get a cape just to support.
Listen. The hair show come. You know I got you, man.
For sure.
I'm gonna tighten you up, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I said, man, you know, I would love to support, but my thing is, he has tapped into something, and it's the marketing side of it. I'm drawn to marketing now more than ever because that's just kind of like it's almost like a hobby for me. How can I reach a certain level from a marketing perspective? That's what drew me to the brand. True. So outside of it being innovative, what makes his brand stand out? Is it the way he creates his capes, or like, because you guys are, I mean, you had 200,000 followers. What did he do differently? Because there's several other guys out there doing the same thing.
I feel like the quality. I feel like at the end of the day, we wanted something that everybody else wanted. You didn't just want the same. We don't want you to have the same design, the same feel to your capes. We want, and right now, when I say marketing, when he says marketing, that's a part of marketing. Think about it. What's popping now? You know, everybody wants that in your face views, in your face photos, in your face videos and stuff like that. So it makes more sense, you know, for us to gear towards what we're in the industry about. So that's a big key to it. The quality is there. We're not just putting on where it just comes out a few weeks from now. So we're trying to make it where it lasts.
What type of latch is on the cape? Is it?
We have the elastic for the neck. And we have the button, but mainly, shout out to the buttons, man. You know,
you like the buttons better, bro?
I love the buttons. I love the little gold touches. You know, I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just I
don't know, man. The buttons sometimes, in my experience, in the other capes, wasn't the best.
That's what we got away from them. We can't have the cheap buttons. That's a big issue a lot of barbers was having. The buttons. Years from now, they ain't doing it. I got capes I didn't have for 10 years. I'm still rocking with, you know, even though I'm be honest with you, I got a lot of capes, you know. So, but you know, so that is what it is. But I know the buttons, man. The quality is and that's one thing when you go. If anybody see me at the hair shows, they know that's one thing I talk to them about. And I make them take it on and off. I make them see the buttons.
You're walking them through
how so
the quality is solid.
Because that's one of the main issues they say. Man, I had this, man. I bought this one. This cape, the button stopped working after 2. Nah, man, come here. Let me see. I make them get 2 hands, take the button off, and they realize the tension and the feel of it. And they're like, okay, let me get 2.
So it's really like that.
It's like that.
Man, shout out to King Midas, man. I'm definitely going to support. I definitely am going to support. So when we were offline, we were talking about how your camera got you in the room. Your camera got you in the door. So when I asked you about King Midas working for them, can you just kind of expound on that a little bit more? How it started from your gift and now you all the way here.
Yeah, I was in Atlanta, man. Barner Brothers, man. Shout out to Barner Brothers, man. Bring back the old Barner Brothers, man. The old days, you know. Sir. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. For you old heads, y'all know what I'm talking about. But I met him at a hair show long time ago. It was long. I didn't have no guidance or nothing like that. I was just walking around with my camera, I asked, I was gonna buy a cape. He was like, man, take a few photos for me or whatever. Do you mind? I was like, yeah, it's cool, And took a few photos. I sent them to him right then and there. Shout out to Sony, right then and there. Get your photos right then. And he was like, oh, okay, let me get your number or whatever. I hit you up for more marketing or whatever. I was like, ain't no big deal. Went walking around or whatever. And he hit me up, told me come to the booth the next day. And came back, sat in the booth, took more photos for him, helped him, talk to him and stuff. And I left the show with the intention, if I talk to him again, I do. He offered me the money. I was like, nah, I'm good, man. I just did, just off the strength. I seen the brand growing. So left the show. A few days later, probably the next day, he sent me a text message and I replied 2 days later. I was a little tipsy, man. I'll be honest with you. Long nights at the airport. And man, been rocking with him ever since. Been New York, Arizona. We go to Vegas every year. We go.
So you hitting up all the barber shows with your guy?
We ain't hitting up all of them. We hitting up.
Right.
We're gonna be honest. We only hitting up certain ones.
Right.
We try to hit up, but some of the don't get me wrong. Some of the smaller ones is just a lot sending product to the show. So it'd be kind of messed up because I don't want people to feel messed up about the situation or whatever,
right.
But us shipping a pallet from New York to a smaller, what's the name? It's kind of a lot, and to the point we have to make a ton of money, for us to go.
So when you guys do shows, you're shipping it from headquarters to
from New York
for wherever.
And it's a pallet of it. So it's like we have to be there. It has to be able to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a lot to ship. Anybody that ship anything,
for sure,
a pallet of boxes is a lot. So that's kind of how you got to think of it, man. We've been everywhere. I've been in Arizona. We a little bit everywhere. Some good times and bad times. So
a lot of our community that we're building is for the young, inspiring beginner barber. Okay. I get a lot of DMs and comments on how do you get to a certain point, whether it be a platform artist, whether it be, someone who get brand deals, just the whole nine. And a lot of what I tell those that DM us, you have to create your own lane.
True.
Because if you worry about Mike or AP or whoever your favorite barber is in the industry, a lot of what you will be doing is what they are doing rather than what you have the ability to do. And I'm saying that to say you already had the skill to take pictures. Again, you're a marketing guy. Right? But you happen to be a professional barber as well. Right. And so you took a picture and that particular gift got you in the door. So I'm saying that to say that, yes, your gift will make room for you, but the barber business in itself is one piece. But your gift, man, that's what gets you in the door.
True. That's you can be talented. You can be talented. And it's a lot of talented. Shout out to all the barbers and beauticians too. Because they don't get a lot of love on some of these pages like they should.
I agree. I agree
they
with
should.
That.
So
it's a lot of gatekeeping. It's a lot. For real. It's a lot of gatekeeping, bro.
And it doesn't make sense, you know what I'm saying? Because they're in the industry as well. So I give credit to what's due. Like you say, some of the younger barbers are looking for mentorship.
For sure.
But at some given time, you have to go out on your own, do your own thing, but learn the marketing aspect from the person you're learning from, not just the business, not just how to cut hair, because cutting hair is just the start of barbering. They have facials, you have all type of avenues in the business that you can be dealing with. So learn that. And then marketing is going to push out all that stuff as well. So that's one of the biggest key points, as far as everyone dealing with you. Which are you marketable pretty much?
What makes
you marketable?
A barber marketable?
What makes a barber marketable?
Yeah, what makes you marketable? Yeah.
I feel like just your professionalism, you taking quality time out to clean up the area around your photos and your station to take those photos. Cause that's a big key. Then you think about it. You got your neck mark, your client as they are, this neck's dirt. Is it dirty? You got neck strips. Do you still have hair all over when you're taking a photo? A lot of people see that. A lot of people know that. That's one of the keys to the industry. They pay attention to a lot of that stuff. Not only do they, and then they look at it like, oh, is this the cut I'm actually going to be getting when I get there? Yes.
It's funny you say that, Mike. Like a lot of my clients that I'm building now and I'm gaining straight from Instagram.
That's
Straight from Instagram. And they are literally, it's kind of weird because we used to go to the barbershop and we say, yeah, let me get a number 15 or another number 30. But now they're coming into the barbershop because of your page.
With their phone. They be like, hey man, look at this photo. Let me get this. Let me get this right here. Yeah.
So if you still in haircuts, or if it's not your work.
But you know what's crazy? That was happening.
It was
happening probably like 6, 7, 8 years ago. The barbers was doing that, stealing other people's haircuts.
I remember.
Which
a few of mine got stolen.
So I don't commend them on that. I don't think y'all need to do it. It's wrong. And it's sad. It's sad because you're never gonna be able to put that work in.
Yeah, and for me, what I look at overall is that if you're cheating yourself and you're cutting corners,
but that's what the industry is now.
It is.
That's what they want, that microwave life.
But does that hurt them in the long run though? Like we really got where we are. We got it from the mud, as they say.
True.
We went. I'm talking about one clipper for everything.
And one pair of edges. and that was it. If the 76ers worked that day, we on. So.
And it's like, we went from cutting hair in the garage, the backyard. Man. I cut hair at churches and just, the whole nine in the bathroom of churches just to get better.
That's
not days. To get off, just to get better.
Those are the good days. Cause you remember, I remember a guy I cut, and I was going to barber school in Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. And he was homeless. Mm. I cut him and his son here. He went and got his son from the mom, brought him over there where we was at, and we cut. It was hot. It had no AC in it. I'm in there sweating, man. I'm in there, and I wasn't going to do the event at first. Mm-hmm. And I end up saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Mm-hmm. I thought I was too good. I'll be honest with you. I thought I was too good for it. Yeah. We get to that point where it's just not us no more, sweating. But I ended up doing it, and his son's a barber right now. Wow. Son's a barber right now. And me and him talk every day. And when I say every day, that's the homie. That's the homie.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And that's crazy.
Man, that is, and it's inspiring. And again, it's humbling. Yeah. Because a lot of times we are in this industry not just to make a dollar, but we have so much impact. Yeah. Like I'll say it, man. We're fashion consultants. We're barbers. Man. We're therapists. Yeah. I saw a reel the other day where he was like, "Do you want just a haircut, or you want the therapy too?" And look, haircut is $50.
That's real.
Yeah, and $100 for both, right?
Physical image consultant.
Man, what? And so a boy was like, "Nah, I just want the haircut." And so on the reel, he put a piece of tape on his mouth. And so it was funny, but it's like, that's actually real. Because especially in your chair, as soon as you get a client, they running it up. Yeah. They running it up.
That's how they feel though. But that's a good thing.
It is.
It's a good thing for them because they feel like this is a comfortable spot. Once you feel comfortable, you good. Mm-hmm. When you get uncomfortable, they gone.
They gone.
When they comfortable, you'll never have a problem with them. They're gonna come. They're not questioning the prices. Right. They're not questioning the prices because they're comfortable. Right. And you know how that.
I get it.
So you had a good spot with them. And then at the end of the day, their kids are gonna feel comfortable.
I love that. I love that. So we got to spin off before we end the show. We got to spin off for our new barbers and our inspiring barbers. What are a few tips that you can give to the new barbers and inspiring barbers just starting out in the industry?
I say the new barbers, man, I tell y'all one thing. Don't skip any steps, man. Learn and learn marketing. Learn not the game, not just the game, not just barbering. Mm-hmm. Learn marketing and learn your steps, man. I tell shout out Roy Gardner. I remember I used to burn it in his head. He's probably hate me to this day. I used to tell him, man, hey man, your steps, man. Yeah. And as far as inspiring barbers, man, don't be too scared to talk to some of the other barbers, some of the barbers you look up to. And if you got to go to somebody in that area that if you don't have anybody, DM them in that area that you stay in and see if you can just watch them. You don't have to go there and, and take their techniques and then, you know, just watch them. Just, you know, you don't have to say nothing to them. You see the flick of the wrist. I pretty much that way, you know, and that's gonna help you further your career longer than trying to steal this dude's anything.
Love that, man.
So
love that, man. That's solid advice. My guy, Mike, thanks for coming on the show today. Before we end, how can they find you on social, man?
Hey, man, on Instagram, A Barber's Life. Mike, a.k.a. Taco, a.k.a. The Great. And I want to say shout out to my dude, man. Appreciate you, man, for having me on the show, man.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure, man.
Hey,
more to come.
Hey, straight up, man. Good dude. Y'all good dude. Y'all missing a lot, man. Go subscribe. Let's go.
Listen, this has been More Than a Barber podcast. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Let's go.
Straight up.
Hey, yo, check this out. If you like this episode, do me a favor. Make sure you subscribe down below. We got amazing content coming your way. Stay tuned for more. Let's go.